people are watching. What up? It is Cole Ragic, the Ratty Daddy, and you're watching Cole TV. Let's go.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to Pro Wrestling 60, where we discuss everything that happened in the world of professional wrestling this week in 60 minutes or less. I'm XLJ, the OG, joined by my partner in crime, my brother from another mother, Mr. Broll.
How we doing out there, world? And man, oh man, we say it every week, but man, what a week in professional wrestling it was, all over the board. We definitely got enough to cover today. So, without further ado, the clock starts now. Let's get right into our top story.
I love the way you think, my friend. And our top story, it is a faction war going on in the WWE. So it all started this past Monday night on Raw, where we kicked off Monday Night Raw with a very interesting segment, right, Mr. B-Roll?
Very interesting indeed. An unlikely alliance has been formed.
Yes, it appears as if the Judgment Day and the Bloodline are going to be working in cahoots. Eek, gag. Yes, so apparently the Judgment Day has relied upon the Judgment Day. Wait a minute, what did I just say there? It has to be
The
your
Judgment Day
the
has
bloodline.
relied upon the bloodline has relied upon the Judgment Day.
Yeah, something like that. It has to be your bull. You know, Tommy Boy, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, the bloodline is relying on the Judgment Day to do their dirty deeds. So on this past week on Monday Night Raw, we got to see the Judgment Day take on the team of Riddle, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. But in return, Solo Sikoa went one-on-one with Rey Mysterio. Man, and I gotta say this, that was both were incredible matchups. But how about Solo? He has been on fire here since WrestleMania, man. He's been killing it.
He has definitely, he's been on a roll for sure. Yeah, definitely. It makes me like all the more of like the role. I know we need to keep on rolling, but like it makes me more and more want to see him be the one to dethrone Roman.
Oh man, that's an interesting concept. I don't know if I'm not quite there yet, but that is an interesting concept. But at the end of Monday Night Raw, the faction war really broke out as the LWO showed up and went to war with the Judgment Day and the Bloodline. It's just craziness all around. And on SmackDown this week too, kind of saw a little continuation of this as the LWO went up against the Judgment Day in a 6-man tag. And how about that main event from SmackDown? Once again, with Solo Sikoa going one-on-one against Riddle in a no DQ match. It's been very interesting to see how this story has progressed with the Bloodline and with KO, Sammy, and now and Riddle, and now you're involving Judgment Day and Rey and LWO. It's like two of the bigger storylines going on right now in the WWE.
Well, and the whole big thing about this is that makes it so intriguing too is the fact that the draft is right here. Like it is here. So it's like, you know,
right around the corner.
Some of these people could be on the same roster sooner rather than later.
And they could be split up. You could have some factions splitting up. I mean, although I don't think anybody's getting split up on the Bloodline, in my opinion, but you never know. Crazier things have happened. But one last thing I want to talk about this. How about the kind of this little rivalry between the two heavies of both these factions, Solo and Rhea? And isn't that pretty? That's been very interesting to see their interactions with each other, just staring each other down. It's like, I don't know who I would take in a fight there, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, mommies.
I loved the Finn. Will you trade places with, or what was it? Or yeah,
and then Rhea comes right over, like it was all up in Solo's grill. I loved it. I loved every minute of it, man. It was so great. Well, coming out of the WWE this week, we did learn of some new matches added to the WrestleMania Backlash card. As anticipated, we are going to get the first time ever Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar one-on-one matchup. Also, we're going to get a 6-man tag. How about that? With the Bloodline going up against KO, Sammy, and Riddle.
I have a bold prediction. Bold
Oh,
prediction.
let's
bold
hear
prediction.
it.
Riddle doesn't make it to Backlash.
The 3-on-2?
There's going to be a mystery third partner, and it's I hear voices
Randy
in my
Orton?
head.
Oh.
Yep.
I thought for a minute you were doing the gobbledygooker, but okay.
Whatever.
Yeah. It could happen. You never know. The SmackDown Women's title, talking about the LWO rivalry with Judgment Day, Rhea defending against Selena Vega. Now that's an interesting matchup, I suppose. Like, I love Selena, and I think it's great for her to get a shot, especially in her home country of Puerto Rico. But I got a feeling Mommy's going to wipe the floor with her. I hate to say that. I think you will definitely be seeing a very erotic pinfall by the end of the night in that matchup.
Yeah.
Or maybe in this other matchup too. We've got the 3-way for the United States Championship was added with Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed challenging Austin Theory for the U.S. title.
You wanted to call him Jonah, didn't you? You wanted to call him Jonah.
You caught that, didn't you?
Yeah.
I almost called him Jonah, yes, but no.
Yeah.
No.
But as we look at this slide, I just sit here and think, one of these things is not like the other, because here I have 4 matches that I'm okay with and decently excited for.
B-roll, is this a typo? Like, did you make this up? You're ribbing me, right?
No, I did not Photoshop that. No. Yes, we are getting Seth Rollins versus Omos.
Fucking why?
Nobody
knows.
Build,
nothing. Just you're gonna get Omos against Seth Rollins. So good God, do you think maybe this is finally the end of the Omos experiment? Because good God, Seth Rollins could have a great matchup with the fucking broomstick, but I don't think he's gonna get a good match out of Omos.
Yeah, which I mean, we were talking about this earlier. So it's I don't know. I think, in my opinion, just my opinion, I think this is Omos's last test or last chance. I think if he can't have a good match with Seth Rollins, who can have a good match with anybody, I think he's gone.
I don't know, man. I think as long as a certain someone's around there, pal, Omos has got a job for life. But I don't know. Like, the rest of the card is looking really good. I mean, obviously, at some point they're probably going to announce the Rey Mysterio and Bad Bunny against Dominic and Judas Priest. Damian Priest. Good God, I've got names all over the place. Yeah, Rob Halford's going to come out and be like, anyways.
You just need to bring like Hurt Business back and have Omos be like just the muscle of that group. Like, he doesn't need a big push. He can just be like the intimidating force.
Well, it's shaping up to be a pretty good card, and I'm looking forward to checking out Backlash here on Saturday, May the 6th. But hey, the world of wrestling, there's always so much going on in it. We got so much more we're going to talk about. But this next we're going to talk about, I am super stoked to talk about this because I'm literally, I got to be honest with you, I'm just now really kind of getting into this. But dude, Stardom. Holy shnikes. So pretty much they had their show on Sunday, April 23rd or yesterday. And this show was loaded. This is actually Stardom's probably the biggest show they've ever had in the entire company's history. It was the All-Star Grand Queendom at the Yokohama Arena in Japan. And this card was loaded with matches, man. But of course, what a lot of us North American fans knew was Mercedes Moné was going to be on this card, which she was, and we're going to talk about that here in a minute. But man, this card, not only did you have that, but you had your World of Stardom Championship up for grabs. The Wonder of Stardom Championship was up for grabs this night. Also, the Artists of Stardom, which is pretty much, that's kind of a trios title, B-roll. And that saw Kairi Sane reform a group she had been with before, which they ended up. So it was Kairi Sane along with Sari Anu and Natsupo, defeating Prominence, aka Suzy Suzuki, Raisa Serra, and Kurimu Hiragi. Also, you got to see a legend of Stardom in her retirement match as Hamika wrestled her last match and was defeated by Makai. And I apologize, I know I'm butchering the names. It's the Midwestern in me, folks. You also had the Goddess of Stardom Championship up for grabs. So I want to talk about that explosive double main event. So the main event was for the World of Stardom Championship with champion Gaua defending against Stardom great Tam Nakanawa. And Tam Nakanawa would go on to become the new World of Stardom champion. But in my opinion, the match of the night, the match everybody's wanting to see, Mercedes Moné against Mayu Iwatani for the IWGP Women's Championship. And I got to tell you, B-Roll, I saw this match. Oh my gosh, this match is, I don't like the term banger, but man, if you want to call it that, it's that. It's all that in a bag of chips. And guess what else? It is our match of the week. And B-Roll, how about this? Mayu Iwatani is your new IWGP Women's Champion. How surprised are you with that?
Yeah, I mean, it is hard to believe, and I will pull the curtain back. I have not watched this yet. I do plan on watching it now due to the great recommendation of the person above me right here. But I had saw the news, and I remember I told you I was like, we have to cover this.
Yeah,
But
I was like, yeah, I'm gonna check it out, and I did get a chance to check out, and
you were
holy
like, don't tell me what happens.
I was like, yeah, don't tell me what happens. I watched it, and like I say, it was like I instantaneous after I watched it, I was like, yep, this is our match of the week. And I mean, folks, seriously, do whatever you can to try to watch this matchup. This matchup is nuts. It's so freaking good. And also, I will say this too. Huge shout with the Eddie Guerrero tribute as she came out dressed in her black mask attire. Of course, when Eddie worked over in Japan, he worked as Black Mask or Tiger Mask. Man, I'm all over the place. Speaking of Maya Uwatani, she is our wrestler of the week, and rightfully so. I mean, shoot, man, winning the IWGP Women's Championship from Mercedes Moné. Like, I got a feeling like I kind of knew I saw her face before and kind of knew who she was, but dude, as soon as I saw this, I was like, yeah, she instantly became a mega star in Japanese women's wrestling if she wasn't already. She's going to be one I think you're going to be talking about here in North America in the very near future as well. But man, what an incredible matchup and just an awesome show. And I got to tell you, folks, for me, honestly, I try to watch as much wrestling as possible, but like after watching this show, Stardom has a lifelong fan, and yours truly here in XLJ. I'm definitely gonna start watching me some more Stardom, man.
Yeah, pulling the curtain back, I got a text, and he was like, "Holy crap, I'm hooked on Stardom now."
Yeah, yeah, I really was, man. I really am. It's just awesome, awesome performance. She is definitely truly deserving of our wrestler of the week. But she's not the only wrestler who won gold this week, now is she, Mr. B-Roll? That's right. War Daddy himself, Daddy Warbucks. Wardlow is your new TNT champion for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ah, fuck, I lost track. I think the third time, maybe.
No, he's only a 2-time. No, he is a 3-time. Yeah.
See, so Wardlow ended up defeating Powerhouse Hobbs for the TNT Championship. Some interesting things out of this. What do you think about the new alliance with him and Arn Anderson?
I freaking love it.
It's interesting. I mean, I love Double A, so I will say this. I feel like Wardlow needed something. It's so weird to me. Like, he had such a huge push, after the victory of MJF winning the TNT title, and then just like, yeah, it just went downhill. And I mean, I know he dropped the title, but I believe because of injury to Joe, but still, it's just, I don't know. And then him dropping it back to Powerhouse and hopefully this title stays on him for a while.
Hopefully, we stop with the hot potato just a little bit.
Yeah, because it's getting a little much with the TNT title. I mean, I get it, but it's one of those things. It is what it is, right?
But he could not celebrate for long because, and it's so funny because we were just talking about this, I think in our car ride last weekend, but I was like, man, what babyface are Luchasaurus and Christian going to go after?
There you go. Luchasaurus apparently in line to be the next challenger for the TNT Championship, which I'm for that, man. I think that'll be good.
You think it's Luchasaurus and not Christian Cage?
Yeah, it's Luchasaurus.
I mean, I think so too, but
I think so. They could throw us a curveball. You never know, man. But nonetheless, congratulations to Wardlow, who is now our TNT champion once again. And I know a certain someone off TikTok whose name Dawn is extra happy.
Oh, I know.
Daddy is the champion.
There's a ton of females out there who are
extra happy. Bro. This is 2023. There's a ton of male and female. We're all happy because we all love us some more Daddy. All right, Mr. B-Roll. Speaking of daddies, segue into this. Let's go to Dad Hat with your Dad Hat tip of the week.
It's that time of the week again. Dad Hat's Life Lessons of the Week. Brought to you by World Championship Wreckage. Find them on YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. And also by the Wrestle Talk Wolfpack. 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. every Wednesday, twitch.tv/WrestleTalk Wolfpack. And now, here's Dad Hat.
All right, kids, always remember, always stand up to a bully. There is nothing that a bully can ever do to really hurt you when you stand up to them.
Unless you handcuff them, then you can get away with it. Oh, Dad Hat, he's so wise upon his years. But yeah, B-Roll, let's talk about it. Britt Baker returning home to Pittsburgh, but her hometown, but it didn't go quite as well for her by the end of the night, did it?
Yeah, I mean, she did win a match, which we'll get into that later. But yeah.
So Jericho.
Me, this was like this whole thing was like moment of the week. We don't do that, but I mean, this was like moment of the week. Adam Cole's facials here, like, and we talked about this beforehand too. How do we feel about her crying out Austin?
I'm for it. It adds some more reality to the situation.
It's true, and I think that's what they're going for with all this all access stuff and everything.
Now, that being said, are you ready for a hot take with me?
Go for it.
I thought this was just an okay segment.
Really?
I honestly, you want to know why? I thought it was a little too much. Let me say this. I love all of these performers and I respect the hell out of them. They are the top of the top. But I thought the biggest thing to me,
I know where you're going,
was the beatdown on Britt. I just thought, I don't know. I'm not trying to be, once again, I'm not trying to nitpick here. I just thought it should have been a little bit more intense. I mean, Adam Cole was selling the fuck out of him, rightfully so, but I just feel like Saraya and the girls should have lit into Britt a little bit more with the Singapore cane shots, in my opinion. Of course, I'm not the one taking the shots, so I would probably be like, fucking ease up. But you know what I'm saying. I don't know. Just from watching this for so many years and stuff, this is me nitpicking, folks. It really is. I still thought the segment was great. I just didn't think it was as great as it could have been. Did it make me more intrigued to see, obviously, Britt against Saraya or anybody from that faction or Adam Cole versus Chris Jericho? A little bit, yeah. But I just know, like, I feel like this was going to be a moment that's going to be, like, really a big part of the storyline for them. But I don't know. I would like to see just a little bit more. Once again, that's me nitpicking. It's still pretty. It was still pretty good nonetheless.
I mean, too, it just kind of shows as well, like, you know, before Adam Cole's injury, like, he would have seen like the Elite out there, like he's kind of on his own.
Yeah. I guess like I would have liked to like I say, I just think the beatdown should have been a little bit longer and more vicious. But Adam Cole they were all awesome in this. So like I say, that's just my hot take on it. But you know what, B-Roll? I'm not the only one that has a hot take here on PW60. All right. All right, let's go to Husky for his hot take of the week.
All right. Time to get back to what. Oh, hot take. Yeah, didn't expect to see you guys. So if you watched AEW Dynamite, you saw that Konosuke Takeshita came to the aid of the Elite. Fantastic spot. I don't know how hot of a take this is, but I think that Takeshita teaming with the Elite is going to bring over to AEW the one, the only, Kota Ibushi. And that is going to start a feud between the Elite and Ibushi until eventually Kenny sides with Kota and they all turn on Takeshita. What do y'all think?
That's an interesting concept. But B-roll, let's talk about it. How about this segment from Dynamite with the beatdown from the Blackpool Combat Club and the Elite? Here you have the Elite, apparently now back in the arena, pretty much calling them out. Bryan Danielson up on the Tron there. Obviously, you knew it was going to be a sneak attack. But the big story here, Takeshita's a part of the Elite now?
I mean, who knows? I mean, anything. I swear, if I do not get the Elite reunion at Double or Nothing, I'm gonna be so pissed. Like,
damn it, Hangman, take him out and put Hangman in.
Like, nothing against Takeshita, but it's funny because, and I've told you this, me and Husky, after he sent it in, I was like, it's funny, I was thinking the same thing. This all leads to Kota Ibushi. And I'm like, are we racist? We're not racist here at PW60, gosh darn it.
No,
not all Asians are the same, gosh darn it.
No.
But yeah, no, it feels right for some reason.
Yeah. I think you get an 8-man at the Double or Nothing with Takeshita in it, but I do think there's going to be some people added to this, and obviously Blood and Guts is what it's going to lead to, and I think that's where you'll have Hangman as part with the Elite, and I'm not sure who'll be with the.
So you're telling me I just have to wait a little bit longer?
Yeah, I mean you've waited this long, you just wait a little bit longer, but I think it's cool for him. I love Takeshita. We had the privilege of seeing him wrestle in person. He's got a great look. He does a phenomenal job in the ring. It's a huge spot for him to be a part of the Elite, but I think it's right. And I do think Kota Ibushi, we're getting him in AEW by the end of the year. I don't know if it's going to work out exactly like Husky's saying, but either way, I think you're going to get the Golden Lovers will be reunited, and it's going to be dope as hell. And I myself can't wait to see it. And Blackpool Combat Club all coming out looking all vicious, especially Jon Moxley as always. Hey, speaking of Jon Moxley, our good close friend Extreme League Wrestling has this phenomenal video out on his YouTube channel now on Jon Moxley. You got to check it out. But we here at Pro Wrestling 60 are going to show you a clip, a little teaser, if you will, of this video. Check this out.
April 21st, 2019. Tax Slayer Center, Moline, Illinois. The Shield, a group that has dominated WWE since their debut, enters through the crowd one final time. And that is primarily due to the decisions of this guy, Dean Ambrose. Prior to this farewell event, Dean informed WWE management that he would not be re-signing with the company. And if you're aware of the man's WWE work, it's not hard to understand why he would make that choice. While his Shield brothers Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns would go on to be multiple-time WWE World Champions, Dean Ambrose was only given one chance to hold the top prize, and it's not by a lack of trying from Dean. WWE management, for every high it gave Dean Ambrose, unfortunately gave him a massive low. He won the long-awaited Shield Triple Threat match at Battleground. He had a main event match for the WWE title with Triple H a few weeks before WrestleMania, where we all knew at that point that it was going to be Roman's crowning moment. Dean Ambrose was a fantastic wrestler, had natural likability, and a swell of organic support. But of course, WWE is gonna WWE, and they never truly saw him as a top guy. And to add insult to injury, the former WWE champion was only paid $500 for this farewell show, which he later revealed is the minimum for just showing up as a WWE talent and you're not booked on the card. And don't get it twisted, while these two people are the same person, they are not the same professional wrestler. And through the ashes of Dean Ambrose would rise Jon Moxley, because you might be able to put a lunatic down, but you can never kill a Death Rider.
I was dangerous before. These days, all I drink is blood.
Man, dude, I got goosebumps freaking watching that.
Yeah.
That video is awesome. Seriously, you see it here at the bottom of the ticker. Go check out our good buddy Extreme League Wrestling and check that video out. It's pretty awesome. And speaking of him,
but seriously though, like real quick, you're on YouTube literally watching this right now. So after this video, go to that video.
That's right. Just look it up and subscribe to his channel as well, because he's got some good stuff. Speaking of Extreme League, though, man, he's been a busy guy. He's been very busy. He had a heck of a weekend. We talked about this before, with his charity, his video, his infamous video, the best thighs in Wrestle Talk going today, brother. But he actually had a pretty unique encounter this weekend. Why don't you check this out?
Hey guys, this is Hardcore Country Mickey James here with Grant with Extreme League Wrestling, who, I don't know if you guys remember, I mean, clearly you're here on his YouTube page. Hey guys, he did, shut up, he did the video to Hardcore Country that you guys voted on, and I was amazed. And you're amazing. Keep being amazing. We're gonna keep being amazing and keep watching. Hit like, hit subscribe, right?
Yes,
hit that bell icon. I know because I have a YouTube show too.
There you go.
And that's what we do on the YouTube. Tube of you.
There you go, man. Such an awesome moment, and so glad he got to meet her, and all the more special. And by the way, just so you all know, yes, he did get the Daisy Dukes that he wore signed by Mickey James. Yes. We love our Wrestle Talk family, man, don't we, B-Roll?
Yes, we do, especially our PW60 crew. They are all phenomenal and just awesome people.
Everybody's doing awesome. And we had another member this week who had a pretty milestone moment as well. Your tribal queen herself, Bree, got to do some color commentary for her first time ever, and man, she killed it. So check this out, B-Roll.
Favorite teams.
But they got a hard challenge ahead of them.
Yes, they do. That's how I feel about Adam Wick.
You mean Adam Wick?
Yes, because I will typically go out there and say some bad words.
This is about to be a very beautiful main event.
It is. I'm so excited.
Thing with a better outcome, but tune in next time. My name's Clinton Davis. You can find me on a forklift. This has been Metro Pro Wrestling. You all have a good night. Happy birthday, Dad.
Thanks, buddy. See you, TV land.
Hi guys, welcome to your Tribal Queen tidbit of the week. First off, let me say, go support your local independent promotions. There's some talented people out there. Second, Wednesday is Cold Warriors Day, this past Wednesday, the 19th. And that's because the Daddy Wardlow, aka Wardlow, got his name back. The TNT title could not be happier. Hope he does not flip-flop. Because that seems to be the pattern, right? Flip-flopping, and Tony doesn't know what to do with the belt, so let's hope Wardlow keeps it for a little bit, and he can keep his baby, and it doesn't get stolen out of his car again. Hobbs. And that was your Tribal Queen tidbit of the week.
There you have it, man. She is killing it. So happy for her. She did an amazing job. Got to call the main event, and Yeah, pretty awesome time. And you can't stop the tribal queen, baby. She is our tribal queen.
That is right. We will all acknowledge our tribal queen.
You have to. You have to. So, well, let's get right back into it here, B-roll. Monday Night Raw. Let's talk about the rest of what happened on Monday Night Raw this week. First, got to start talking about Trish Stratus, huh? Revealing her true intentions.
Revealing is the key word. sorry.
Dude, I got yeah, this is going back to memories of my adolescence, Trish. So congratulations for unlocking a memory in the past. Wait a minute, did I just say that on the air? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This just got weird. Anyways, just killer promo. Obviously, she's going to be feuding with Becky Lynch. Apparently, Becky is out with an injury for a little while. So probably I imagine you'll see that at maybe a SummerSlam or something, or somewhere on down the road. We'll be seeing them go one-on-one. Also, I love how Trish is really playing into her character too. She revealed she was the one that attacked Lita. I think she said on social media or something, that she could beat both Rhea and Bianca for their championship. So she's like full blown back into it. And I love too how she said, like I forget how she said it exactly, but I'm not just like a fantasy for you all out there. I'm not just like this. I'm like I'm the face. I'm the reason why women's wrestling got started in the WWE or exist in the WWE. So I thought it was a great promo, man. I thought she killed it. And then how we talked about this earlier, the confrontation between Cody and Brock Lesnar. We are going to be getting that matchup now. How about when Brock come out? Can we talk about that for a brief moment? Was it just like he just like ribbing the Undertaker purposely, or he's just like
I thought he looks like he borrowed Trish's jacket and hat. I mean,
well, Trish, that would be I don't know about that because that's a big ass jacket and hat for Brock Lesnar.
that is true.
You never know. You never know. How about the matchup between The Miz and Seth Rollins this week? I mean, that almost kind of won our match of the week.
It really almost did. It was really good. It was like one of those matches, kind of like, oh yeah, The Miz actually is really good at wrestling. Like,
oh yeah, I think The Miz is probably. I think it's easy to say this. The Miz is the most underappreciated WWE wrestler, like in the past 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
Like we've all done it, but I mean, you can't deny what all the Miz has accomplished is going to continue to still accomplish. But hey, Monday Night Raw was a pretty good show this week. But let's talk about the rest of Dynamite. So we already covered, of course. We know Wardlow's your new TNT champion. Everything that happened with the Good Doctor and Adam Cole, the BCC and the Elite. But also, how about the announcement of the 4 Pillars tournament for Double or Nothing?
Just interesting.
It's interesting. So you had essentially Darby Allin get a bye, and then this past week on Dynamite, one-on-one was Jungle Boy and Sammy Guevara. But apparently,
for the first time ever,
the first time ever. How crazy is that?
Yeah, that is crazy.
But how weird is this relationship between Sammy and MJF? Apparently, like this is creepy. Look at that picture down there. That is just ugh. I don't know, man.
I mean, I think I guess maybe
I'm getting like Jehovah's Witnesses show up my door vibes, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, do you think? Like, I think MJF thinks he's the most beatable. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. But hey, this week also on Dynamite, you got the in-ring debut of Jay White going up against Commander, which, hey man, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna tell it like in my opinion.
The hip.
Like, I was not. I was hyped going into this, but man, I don't know. This just
the match was
flat.
just okay. It was just
okay. There was some. I don't want to say botches because I don't believe it. I just like I don't know. They're just the timing. They just I don't know them. It just didn't feel right for some reason, and I'm a little concerned with like Jay White too, because like I feel like I hate to say this, and I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like he's going to get lost in the shuffle. Jay White is a mega star. He should be at the top of the card.
Don't worry. We'll get into that. We're gonna have plenty of room for everybody.
I sure hope so, but I guess time will tell. But interestingly enough, so now in the main event, you did have Sammy Guevara go over on Jungle Boy, so advancing in the tournament. Now you have Darby going up against Sammy Guevara this upcoming Wednesday, with the winner of that to face MJF.
Don't forget a massive big assist from MJF, though.
Yes, this is true. This is true. But it's going to be interesting to see, like, okay, because apparently Tony Khan's got an announcement. Is it going to have something to do with that? Or is it going to have something to do with what we're going to talk about here in a little bit, I'm sure, that we all are aware of. But I don't know, man. Like, overall, I thought Dynamite was, I liked this week's Dynamite. I thought you had some pretty good stuff in there.
You had some highs, you had some lows, but mostly highs.
How about SmackDown though, man? If you was to pigeonhole me and name a show of the week, I think I'd say SmackDown, because SmackDown was a very wrestling driven show, which I freaking love. I mean, you had the Viking Raiders go up against Braun Strowman and Ricochet. The women's tag team titles were on the line. And you also had the Intercontinental title on the line. And we mentioned earlier that main event was Solo and Riddle, no DQ. I love SmackDown. I thought Friday Night SmackDown was awesome. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good show. And the way you described it was probably accurate. There was a lot of wrestling on it. Honestly, the no DQ match between Riddle and Solo was, for me at least, it was another candidate for match of the week. But the women's tag match surprised me how good it was.
Yeah, I'm really digging the team of Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green now. I think they're pretty good together. I think that started off as like, let's just put them together and see what the hell happens. But that they're gelling. They're gelling really good. I really enjoyed their team, and I hope they don't break them up anytime soon. But yeah, with Liv and Raquel retaining, and I think I'm interested to see how their team goes. Although I feel like once Ronda's healed up, it's inevitable. Ronda and Shayna are getting them damn belts, but time will tell.
Can we work on Raquel being less awkward though when she goes to like put the belt behind her and still do the back flex thingy? Like
it's a work in progress.
It's just awkward.
Yes, it is. Well, that's not all that happened this week. Let's talk about NXT. I thought NXT was a pretty good show. Gallows going up against the Creed brothers was a great opener. Noam Dar making his in-ring return to NXT.
Can I give a hot take?
Hot take? Let's hear it.
I don't like the Creed brothers at all.
Really?
They do not do it for me. And there's talks about them getting called up, and I just
you just don't like the gimmick, huh? They're too basic, would you say?
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying. I think in-ring's awesome, but like you take them out of the ring, like what do they got? Like, I don't think I mean, they've done some segments and promos, but nothing to me that's really stuck out. I don't know. It's kind of meh.
I guess it's kind of like the okay, like why should I care? Like, yeah, you're going to the ring, but why should I care?
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I'm really caring about, I'm really digging like Duke Hudson, man, and like everything going on there, and now they're obviously him getting ready to feud with Braun Breaker. I think it's cool too, because like I thought for sure, okay, Braun's staying on NXT. Okay, so Braun's gonna feud with Carmelo, but now they're kind of going this way. Although honestly, it could end up being like a short feud, and Braun does get called up in the draft, which I mean that's probably the likely scenario that's gonna happen. But you never know.
Yeah.
But and then also, how about that matchup between Gigi Dolan and Cora Jade? Great to see Cora Jade once again, and I think they have some great in-ring chemistry. I thought NXT did great this week. So pulling back the curtain, honestly, I wasn't really watching NXT as much until we started doing this show. But so far from what I've seen on NXT, ever since after WrestleMania, I think they've been doing a great job. it's been a very enjoyable show.
Yeah, I mean, for me, and to me, it's one of the better booked women's divisions in all of wrestling.
That's a good point. It is.
So,
I mean, it's the Knockouts division's number one, of course. But
yes.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's easily the best booked women's division in the WWE by far.
Yes.
I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, well, let's talk about Rampage this week as well, which had a special start time because of the
and special day.
Yeah. So Saturday, it was on Saturday instead of Friday. And the Rampage show, let's talk about it. You had John Moxley going against Christopher Daniels. Pretty good opener. You had the 8-man tag with FTR teaming up with Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. And it was there. Kiera Hogan against Julia Hart. But and then oh god, do we have to talk about the Jeff Hardy promo?
Well, you got to talk about it. It happened.
Yikes! I fucking dumb. Fucking I'm gonna
retire from screwing up or whatever he said. How do you say it?
I think he said it just like that. It was fucking stupid, is what it was. This is like, dude, just shut up. And I don't know. I've never been a huge Jeff Hardy fan, but regardless, like I mean, obviously, mental health and a person's health is most important. I just hope he's not coming back too soon.
From a human being standpoint, you hope, hey, he has recovered. He's doing better. In a sense, go out on top, basically. Yeah, you do hope that he is better. But what I want to talk about,
yeah, I know what you want to talk about,
is the right side of the slide. One, you have Vikino with awesome ring gear, and him and Dralistico had
in the main event.
In the main event, had a really good match, really good. But then look at those facials from a Miss Julia Hart.
Dude, she is the one person I can think of that AEW, like, since moving her into a different program, and so much freaking better. Like her being a part of with Malachi Black, House of Black. Oh my gosh,
it's
perfect. Yeah, it's a good match. And the main event was killer. Another one that was contender for our match of the week, but believe it or not, Hio Del Vicino was a pretty busy guy this week, and he would have another match that was a classic. Let's talk about Ring of Honor this week.
Yes, Ring of Honor was a loaded show this week for sure. I just feel like Ring of Honor is really starting to just, since they've been back and on the Honor Club and everything, it's just really starting to pick up the steam. Athena's been dominating, doing her thing. They're putting her over in commentary, one of the greatest women's Ring of Honor champions of all time. But she's being on heel and doing all these non-honorable things. You had Samoa Joe and Colt Cabana going at it. But primarily,
we want to talk about.
Yes, this matchup right here. El Hijo del Vicino versus Gringo Loco, another contender. See, we're being serious. We had a lot of contenders for match of the week. We love us some Gringo Loco.
Gringo Loco's amazing.
Love. And just and I got to give a huge shout out to the commentary team on this one too, because they were kind of like, I don't know. I guess I didn't really catch this either, but they've kind of been feuding all over. Gringo Loco and Vikino have kind of been feuding all over the country. Like they keep having matchups and all these different promotions and stuff, like in GCW, and then now Ring of Honor, and just bouncing around, right? Like I told you, Warrior Wrestling, who's near and dear to our hearts, Gringo Loco actually defeated Vikino for the Warrior Wrestling Lucha title. Like, so they've just been kind of bouncing around and kind of feuding. But yeah, really, Gringo Loco cut an emotional promo after this, just talking about how he had been wrestling around the world for like 2 years, just trying to get the attention of one man, Mr. Tony Khan. He said, like, I may have not picked up the win, but at the end of the day, Tony Khan came out and he raised my hand.
So there you go.
But just Gringo Loco can go. If you haven't seen Gringo Loco, do yourself a favor, go check out some Gringo Loco.
Absolutely. And right now, we are going to go to your good, close personal friend of mine. Let's go to Best Scout Machine. He's got a little opinion for us. He wants something he wants to talk about. Get off his chest, if you will.
Good evening, folks. I'm here to kind of level with you people. I'm getting sick and tired of WWE and their constant product placements. They're constantly shoving Cinnamon Toast Crunch and TurboTax down our throats. And the blatant advertising in WrestleMania this year was ridiculous. It wasn't even smooth, not one bit. Unlike the smooth taste of Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew, have it your way. Wait. I'm like, don't you already have enough of our money, WWE? We're already paying for your shirts. We buy Peacock. A handful of you still buy the pay-per-views, apparently, even though you can have Peacock. I thought everyone had Wi-Fi. But, what can I say? Like, we're never going to give up, WWE. They're still going to find ways to ruin the ring, At the end of the day, you're still the one. Still the one, a huge hit for Shania Twain! Yes, Shania Twain's greatest hits currently on Spotify. But unlike WWE, who won't let me down? Pro Wrestling Tees! Pro Wrestling Tees, give me free stuff. Wait, I got one more product placement. Pete's Chicken Strips and Back Rubs. Come on down, located next to I-40, next to that amusement park that's now used to give hamsters pat smears.
Yes, indeed. Oh, I need to go get me a chicken strip basket and a Pabst beer, but just kidding. Anyways, but it's let's talk about this, B-roll. New WWE Twitch agreement to allow talent to stream with almost no restrictions. Because remember, this was a big deal a couple years ago. But now they're going to let talent do their thing and do their own streams, which, I think is the way it should be, man. It should have been that way from the get-go, I get what WWE saying, oh, well, we own your name and shit. But you know what? Fuck it. It's the person behind that name that puts in all the work. So they should be allowed to do their thing.
Mandy Rose can't post a booty pic. I mean, come on.
No,
Mandy's bunghole. Bring it back.
You literally just wanted to say just that. So, well, you know who can be bunghole sometime, my friend, and thank you for the layup there. Let's talk about us, the fans. Sometimes we can be a little bit pushy when it comes to meeting our favorite wrestlers. And with some advice on that, here, let's go to Sienna.
So as you all know, I've gone to wrestling shows since 2017, independent wrestling show wise, and I've met bunch of wrestlers. Like, I lost even count, you guys. But I'm gonna say this, I can tell you places where you guys can actually meet wrestlers in a more comfortable setting and when the wrestler is on the clock. Conventions, that's right. You could meet the wrestlers at conventions as long as they make the appearances. I mean, the most notable conventions, of course, WrestleCon is one of them. Also, some comic book conventions, whether it's just a local or a very well-known conventions, that's where the wrestlers are be spotted at. I mean, as long as you gotta follow them on social media where they're gonna be making the appearance, that's your best luck, of course. You could meet them at a certain stores, like a comic book store or a store that sells memorabilia, or even at a cell phone store like Cricket Wireless, or even, every year the WrestleMania Superstore. You can actually meet those wrestlers there, and it is going to be a fun experience. Some maybe charge, some don't, but hey, as long as you guys arrive early and meet your favorite, that's all it is to it. Number 4 is actually at a wrestling show, and by that, independent wrestling show. I've gone to so many independent wrestling shows that they are notable wrestlers that'll make appearances, either there for just a meet and greet, or not just a meet and greet, but also for the seminar prior to the show day to train the wrestlers that are currently training, or even like the wrestlers themselves performing or presenting a title, or whichever the case would be, that's like the top secret to take a look to meet the wrestler. Lastly, the most important of all, even though it's just short and sweet, outside of an arena after the wrestling shows. That's right, the infamous back of the venue, the parking lot area where everybody was waiting for the wrestlers to come out. That's like your only chance to meet the wrestlers because they're still in the premises despite the fact that they're off the clock. Well, you're in luck if you get to like actually say hi, or maybe if you're in luck, a selfie, as long as you actually ask them nicely, all right? But please do not like be like, take this, please, take this, so aggressively, because, you know, that's actually going to be setting them off really bad. And that's all it is to it, you guys. So that's where you guys can meet those wrestlers into, like, well, you can say 5 places to meet. And remember, you guys, save the Funkos.
Indeed, true words could not be said. Well, hey, let's talk about MLW's War Chamber aired this week. And in the War Chamber matchup, a little bit of a scare here, Mr. B-Roll. So you had Team Hammerstone going up against the Calling, and it appears Alex Hammerstone has suffered a serious injury. Still no word on how long he's going to be out, if for extended period of time.
They just said they're taking it day to day.
Yeah, the good thing is, though, with MLW, they tape a lot of their stuff in advance. So, I mean, they still got Battle Riot, a bunch of other footage and whatnot coming up. But ultimately, Team Hammerstone got defeated by the Calling. So how about that? Pretty interesting to see. But you know what? You should definitely catch a replay of MLW if you haven't done so already. You can check that out, I believe, on Reels and their YouTube channel as well, just to name a few. Well, it's that time of the show. Let's go to your good, close personal friend. He's recovered from last week's injury. Let's go to the CDC with the New Japan Report.
Greetings from Earth. My name is Corey, also known as the CDC83 on TikTok. I'm here to bring you the New Japan Pro Wrestling Week in Review for the week of April 16th. Following an injury sustained at Capital Collision, Hiroshi Tanahashi was pulled from the events of the following day for Collision in Philadelphia. It turns out that those injuries must have been more severe at this point, as he has also been pulled from the entire run of the Road to Wrestling Dontaku. Although the injury is noted to be sidelining him for the Road to Dontaku, it is unclear yet at this point he will be available for the main event of Wrestling Dontaku on May 3rd. While the Road to Dontaku kicks off on April 20th, the first couple of nights were actually untelevised. The first televised event will be taking place on April 23rd. The Road to Dontaku events do appear to only be Japanese audio live with English commentary to follow in the following day or days. As previously mentioned, Wrestling Dontaku 2023 will take place on May 3rd. Thus far, there has been 2 announced matches and 1 tentative match. One match announced thus far is the NJPW World Television title, currently held by Zack Sabre Jr., to defend against the United Empire's Jeff Cobb. The Strong Openweight Championship will also see action as defending champion Kenta takes on Hikuleo. The Never Open 6-man tag titles, currently held by Strong Style, consisting of Ren Narita, El Desperado, and Minoru Suzuki, will defend those titles. Specifically, the challenge has been laid down to Kazuchika Okada, who's been tasked with finding his own teammates. Thus far, his stablemate in Chaos, Tomohiro Ishii, has stepped up and has been confirmed as part of the team. The third member has yet to be determined. In other news, 2 additional shows have been announced for Philadelphia, coming back on August 19th and 20th. On August 19th, the All-Star Junior Festival USA will kick off. The following night, we'll see another collaboration with Impact Wrestling, as New Japan and Impact Wrestling bring us Multiverse United 2. More details to follow in the coming weeks. This has been your New Japan Pro Wrestling Weekly Update Report. I'm Corey. Goodbye from Earth.
Oh, from Earth, indeed. Speaking of Earth, GCW had a couple shows this weekend as well. You had Into the Light in Atlanta, as well as Scene of the Crime in Orlando. I got to tell you, that Scene of the Crime had an awesome main event with Sawyer Wreck challenging Masha Slamovich for the GCW Championship, which I may be wrong here, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. I believe that this is the first time in wrestling history that a major, highly contended for male heavyweight championship has been contended between two females. I believe in the main event. I may be wrong on that, but I'm just saying.
They can always Wikipedia if not. So
That's
there
right.
we go.
You could. So, but also in the wrestling world this week. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Yes, Goldberg wants to make one last run and a comeback, and he feels he's entitled to it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Please,
Let's keep going.
please, just don't. Please don't, Goldberg. All due respect, just stay retired and do like a car show or something. I don't know. Oh man, how about this one? Ted DiBiase Jr., the son of the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. How ironic is this story? Charged with theft of millions of dollars in federal funds from Mississippi? Like, this was like welfare money, like millions upon millions of dollars?
Guess everybody really does have a price.
Maybe the state of Mississippi fucked on him. I don't know. Let's go to Brian with our Brian's House of Random moment of the week.
Yes, it's that time again. Brian's House of Random in the house. Yeah, literally. Almost doing the Wolfpack thing. Wolfpack it back, make a mass destruction. There you go. All right, so back again, another episode of PW60, and honored to be on here as well. Last week, I asked a trivia question. Who were the only two wrestlers in history to be a part of the original NWO in WCW and also in the Bullet Club? And again, I kind of gave a hint that their tenures in both of them, of course, were not very long. The answers would be, see who got it right, Jeff Jarrett for about 6 months in 2014, and Scott Norton for 1 day as part of a 10-man tag match, I think in 2021, 2022, somewhere in that time frame. So there you go. Two members of the original NWO and of the Bullet Club. Now, moving on to a what-if question for this week. This one come to mind, in fact, at work the other night, usually where I do my best thinking, when I'm kind of mopping the floor, my brain gets to thinking and going all over the place, a little more than usual. And one of the greatest performers in any aspect in wrestling history, as far as managerial and commentary, is the legendary Bobby the Brain Heenan. Now, we know his commentary history in WWF. Now, if you're not familiar with his managerial history in WWF, and even outside of that in the AWA and more, go back and check all that out. And, of course, we know he had the Heenan family in WWF, many great wrestlers as a part of it. Now, here's the what-if question. Now, we know his time in WCW, he was an announcer and was amazing. So, here we go. What if, two-part question, comment your answers to this in this video. What if Bobby the Brain Heenan was a manager in WCW? And if so, who, whether it be one individual wrestler or another faction, would you like to have seen him manage? So, what if Bobby the Brain managed in WCW? If so, who or what group of people would you want him to manage? Comment your answers below, and hey, have a great day.
Indeed. Love me some Bobby Heenan. Also love our Wrestle Talk family. Speaking of Wrestle Talk, we want to highlight our Wrestle Talk content creator of the week. And this week we're going with a new up-and-comer, at least new to us, Rachel's Thoughts. And I got to tell you, she's a big AEW fan. She loves to go fishing, but I love her catchphrase. It's always, good morning, good day, you beautiful beans. I can get behind that. So Rachel's Thoughts is our Wrestle Talk creator of the week. Hey, how about this news? Wrestling is going to be on the Smashing Pumpkins tour. That's pretty dope. Like, makes me want to see them all the more. And how about this, B-roll? Dax Harwood's podcast is ending?
Yes, Dax podcast is apparently ending due to, in his words, for the betterment of professional wrestling.
Well, there you have it. And speaking of professional wrestling, we all know All In is looming here, August 27th. But there's already a bunch of outside talent that's trying to get on this card. Will Ospreay, Kota Ibushi, just saying. And buddy, oh buddy, I think they need to make it happen. And our last story of the week, we're going to follow up on our top story from last week. It seems like it's happening, B-Roll. CM Punk is heavily rumored to return to AEW on June the 17th at the United Center for the first ever AEW Collision show. What do you make of this?
Yeah, I mean, apparently the venue's already booked and all that jazz. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would be super excited. As a fan, I would be excited because of it's like almost like reliving that original, like coming back. But like, if they're doing this third show just for him, it's so stupid.
Like we said last week. Well, folks, we have come to the end here. We've covered the entire week of everything that happened in the world of professional wrestling. We're going to sign off for you. We hope you've enjoyed this episode. As always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I'm XLJ the OG with Mr. B-Roll. We'll see you next week here on an episode of Pro Wrestling 60. Everybody have a great week.